The choice that reached heaven. Chosen one. Listen carefully. This message isn't trying to impress you. It isn't trying to convince you. It isn't trying to scare you into belief. It exists because something about you was already noticed. Not yesterday, not years ago, recently. And the reason this matters is simple. Most human actions never travel beyond the physical realm. They stay contained within circumstances, reactions, conversations, and consequences. But what you didn't stay there. It moved. The moment you didn't realize was important. A short time ago, you were placed in a situation that tested you quietly. It wasn't dramatic. No audience, no spotlight, no divine music playing in the background. Just pressure. Real pressure. The kind that comes from betrayal, injustice, disappointment, rejection, or emotional exhaustion. The kind that makes people justify becoming colder, harsher, more guarded. And to be clear, you had every reason to respond that way. Your pain was valid. Your frustration made sense. Your anger would have been understandable. No one would have judged you. But something inside you didn't take the obvious route. You made a choice that felt natural to you, but rare in reality. You didn't mirror the energy sent toward you. You didn't let the wound decide your character. You didn't allow pain to rewrite who you are. You chose restraint. You chose grace. You chose to stay aligned with yourself instead of surrendering to the moment. And the moment you did that, something shifted. Why this wasn't just a good decision. Many people make good choices. Very few make costly ones. Anyone can be kind when it benefits them. Anyone can forgive when there's nothing to lose. Anyone can stay calm when they're safe. But you didn't choose grace from safety. You chose it while exposed. That's what made the difference. In the spiritual realm, responses are categorized, not by appearance, but by origin. Most human reactions are instinctual, predictable, emotionally driven. But yours didn't come from instinct. It came from identity. And that is why it was flagged. What was happening behind the scenes? While you were navigating that moment in real time, something else was unfolding unseen. Your life, like every human life, is observed continuously, not for judgment, for understanding. Guardian assignments monitor patterns, how people respond to pressure, how they behave when unseen, how they treat others when wronged. Most patterns repeat endlessly. Pain produces bitterness. Loss produces resentment. Offense produces withdrawal. Heaven rarely pauses for these. They are expected. But when your response came in, it broke the pattern. And the moment it did, your case was escalated. The rare category you entered there exists a classification used only in exceptional cases. It's applied when a human soul responds in a way that contradicts survival instinct, when love answers hostility, when humility replaces ego, when forgiveness overrides entitlement. This category is known as transcendent response. It signals a soul operating beyond reaction. You entered that category, not by claiming anything, not by declaring faith publicly, but by how you behaved when it cost you something. That is what heaven recognizes as authenticity. Why this reached higher authority. Guardian oversight handles most matters independently. Escalation only happens when something indicates long-term capacity. Your response didn't just solve a moment, it revealed your structure. It showed that pressure doesn't collapse you. Pain doesn't corrupt you, offense doesn't redefine you. That combination is rare. And because of that, your file was flagged for higher review. Not because you were in danger, but because you demonstrated readiness. The question heaven asked about you at higher levels, the question is never, is this person talented? It's never, is this person strong? The only question that matters is, can they be trusted? trusted with influence, trusted with responsibility, trusted with impact. And your recent choice answered that question clearly. Why this miracle required orchestration? Here is what most people don't understand. Some breakthroughs happen naturally, some doors open gradually, some blessings follow effort, but others require intervention. Your situation fell into the second category, because what is coming into your life carries weight. If it had arrived earlier, it would have overwhelmed you. If it had arrived later, it would have delayed purpose. So, timing mattered. And timing required arrangement. That's why heaven didn't leave this to chance. God personally ensured alignment. What confirmation actually means. Heaven's confirmation isn't an announcement. It's not a voice from the sky. It's not fireworks. It's not public recognition. Confirmation happens through alignment. Resistance eases. Confusion lifts. Doors open without force. People move without explanation. And suddenly, what once felt impossible starts happening naturally. That's confirmation. And that's what you're experiencing now. Why this is only the beginning. What just happened is not the miracle. It's the signal. A signal that preparation is ending. A signal that observation has shifted to deployment. A signal that you're being trusted with more than survival. But this also means something else. Your life will no longer feel random. Patterns will make sense. Past pain will gain context. Your sensitivity will become a strength. And expectations will increase. What you need to understand before moving forward. Elevation changes visibility. Both support and resistance increase. But heaven does not promote without protection. Resources have already been reassigned. Support has already been upgraded. Timing has already been adjusted. What's required from you now isn't striving. It's consistency. Remain who you proved yourself to be. The unseen battle that happened before the miracle. Chosen one. Before anything manifested in your physical life, something intense unfolded where your eyes could not follow. Miracles do not arrive quietly in the unseen realm. They are contested, challenged, delayed, sometimes almost stopped. What you experienced recently did not come easily. Not because heaven hesitated, but because resistance recognized what was being released toward you. And resistance always reacts when alignment becomes dangerous. The shift that alerted the unseen. The moment your response broke the expected human pattern, a signal was released. Not outwardly, internally. In the spiritual realm, intention carries frequency. Your decision changed yours. And when that frequency shifted, it was noticed. Not only by light, but by darkness as well. This is a truth few people are prepared to hear. The unseen realm reacts faster than the physical one. By the time you felt peace, the battle had already begun elsewhere. Why opposition increased right before the breakthrough? Think back carefully. Just before things started improving, just before clarity arrived, just before doors opened, things intensified, confusion increased, fatigue deepened, old wounds resurfaced, unexpected resistance appeared. That wasn't coincidence, that was interception. Because the moment heaven initiates a shift, forces that benefit from stagnation attempt disruption, not by dramatic attacks, but by subtle discouragement. The goal was simple: make you doubt the value of the choice you made. If they could pull you back into bitterness, into resentment, into reaction, the authorization would be compromised. The strategy used against you, opposition rarely attacks what you've already mastered. It targets what you care about. For you, the strategy was emotional pressure. Questions like, was it even worth it? Did anyone notice? Why did you take the higher road again? Why are you always the one who lets things go? These thoughts weren't random. They were attempts to reframe grace as weakness. If that reframing succeeded, your alignment would fracture. But something unexpected happened. You didn't collapse into reaction. You stayed grounded. And that changed the outcome. The moment heaven stepped in, when resistance realized you were not reverting, intervention escalated. Not to protect you from pain, but to protect the timeline. Because at this point, the miracle was no longer optional. It had been authorized, and authorization changes everything. Heaven does not reverse decisions lightly. Once approval is granted at higher levels, the role of protection becomes active, not passive. Your situation entered what is known as secured progression, meaning delays were overridden, interference was restricted, access points were closed. What could be slowed was still allowed. What could derail was not. Why certain people had to move out of position. This is where things get uncomfortable. Not everyone in your life could remain where they were and still allow the miracle to unfold. Some people were not bad. Some were not malicious. Some even cared about you. But they were misaligned with who you are becoming. And misalignment creates friction at higher levels. So adjustments were made. That's why. Some relationships cooled suddenly. Some conversations ended without closure. Some support disappeared without explanation, not as punishment, as repositioning. Heaven removes access before it removes people. And when access closes, distance follows naturally. Why this felt painful, even though it was necessary. Loss always hurts, even when it's purposeful. You felt moments of confusion. Why now? Why like this? Why does this feel lonely? Because transition always feels emptier than stagnation, until the new structure forms. What you lost was familiarity. What you gained was capacity. But capacity isn't immediately comfortable. It stretches you, and stretching feels like absence before it feels like expansion. The warning attached to this blessing, here is the part most people are never told. Every orchestrated miracle comes with instruction. Not rules, not fear, but awareness. The warning attached to yours is this. Do not minimize what was done for you by returning to old patterns. Not bitterness, not shrinking, not self-doubt disguised as humility. You are not being asked to prove anything, but you are being asked to remain aligned. Grace is powerful, but only when it remains intentional. Why complacency would be the real threat? Struggle is not your danger anymore. Comfort is, because comfort can dull discernment, and discernment is now essential. Your influence, whether you want it or not, is expanding. People will read your energy before they hear your words. Situations will shift because of your presence alone. That means consistency matters, not perfection. Consistency. The responsibility you were quietly given with authorization comes assignment, not announced, not dramatic, but real. You are now positioned to stabilize chaotic environments, bring clarity without force, de-escalate situations without effort. This isn't about leadership titles. It's about impact density. Where you go, things will begin to settle. Where you speak, tension will soften. Where you remain silent, wisdom will still communicate. This is not accidental. It is cultivated. Why your life will no longer feel small. You may still live simply, still move quietly, still avoid attention, but inwardly, something has shifted permanently. Your inner world expanded, and expanded inner worlds eventually reshape outer reality. Opportunities will now seek alignment with you, not the other way around. But this also means discernment becomes non-negotiable. Not everything that opens is meant to be entered. The difference between the old you and the current you. The old you survived, the current you stewards. Survival reacts, stewardship chooses. Survival protects self, Stewardship protects purpose. You crossed that line recently, and heaven noticed immediately. What to expect before part 3? Before the full manifestation settles, there may be one final test, not of endurance, of identity. A moment where you are tempted to downplay your growth question, your worth return to familiar self-doubt. This is not a setback. It is a confirmation checkpoint. How you respond will determine how smoothly the next phase unfolds.